Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining. You're watching News from Guyana. I'm Isanella Pato, and this is the afternoon news in brief. And here's a look at some of the stories we've been tracking today. The persons who survived the Drysdale Street Charlestown fire that killed a father and his two children this morning believe it may have been caused by an air conditioning unit that was reportedly sparking before the tragedy. The fire chief, acting Gregory Wickham, told the newsroom that the investigators are still trying to determine the cause of the fire. Michael Richards and his two children, two young girls, 6-year-old Sumaya and 4-year-old Supreme, sadly perished in the fire. It is believed that Richards perished as he was trying to make his way out of the house since his body was discovered at the door. The bodies of his two children were found in a bedroom. A 20-year-old man died last night after his motorcycle reportedly skidded into the path of a car on Mandela Avenue in Georgetown. Dead is Joshua Blacken of Toucan Drive, South Ruimveldt, Georgetown. According to a statement from the Guyana Police Force, the driver, a 40-year-old Marvin Williams, claimed that he was proceeding north along the western drive lane when he noticed the motorcycle proceeding in the opposite direction. Williams said the motorcycle skidded on its side and ended up in his path, and this is what resulted in the collision. The 13-year-old girl, who had to be flown to New York for life saving treatment after suffering severe burns in the Madhya Secondary School dorm fire, um, will be discharged soon. She is expected to make a full recovery following several successful surgeries at the Burns Center at Northwell Health in Staten Island, New York. The vice president of Global Health Center at Northwell, Dr. Eric Coe Pina, told the local media this morning that he anticipates that the young girl will make a full recovery, and once she is discharged, she will be returning to Guyana. The Georgetown Hospital is set for major expansions with more operating rooms and ICU beds. This massive expansion, the massive improvement and expansions are planned for operating rooms, ICU, as well as human resources at the hospital. This was announced by the Chief Executive Officer there, Dr. Robbie Rambaran, at a press conference this morning. There are currently 6 operating theaters at Georgetown Hospital, and one of which must always be ready and available in case of any emergencies. However, this is expected to change with plans to expand the operating rooms there to about 10 or 12. In addition to the operating rooms, there are also plans to expand the ICU capacity at the hospital from 7 beds to 20. The chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, Justice retired Claudette Singh, today highlighted the need for constitutional reform as she addressed for the first time the weekly protests mounted outside her office by the political opposition, premised on calls for a clean voters list and the introduction of biometrics. She said the introduction of biometrics would take Guyana back to the 1990s, when persons were required to have a physical identification card in order to vote. At a news conference this afternoon, the GCOM chair made it clear that the introduction of biometrics and the removal of names from the voters list would require constitutional reform before that could be done. You can get these and more stories on our newscast tonight at 7 and follow our social media pages for updates and our website newsroom.gy. I am Isanella Pato. Thank you for joining.